Hello, and welcome to the Right Outlook Show with your host, Mixed Opinions. Okay, today we are going to talk about the real cost of illegal immigration when it comes to the financial burden to our country and us taxpayers, and the safety factors and the dangers that it poses. Okay, so to start off, we've got to understand exactly the devastation that can happen from a mass illegal migration, and when left unchecked, what it could do. You have to look at states that have that have a mass majority of these people and see what their problems are, and understand that those problems will flood or be in lower levels in other states because of illegal immigration. If you look at Illinois, you think of Chicago. When you think of Chicago, you think of not the greatest place. You think of a Democratic run, just piece of, like Donald Trump would say. Then you think Florida. If you go to South Florida, it's overcome with Haitian Americans or Haitian illegal immigrants, Cuban illegal immigrants, Mexican illegal immigrants, people from all over El Salvador, Dominican Republic. And you can go into places in Florida. I'm from South Florida, and you will find that you can't even read the signs. You can't buy a burger from McDonald's because they don't speak English. The crime rates are very high. You can't go into places like Hialeah. You got to watch out for certain neighborhoods. If people tell you don't go there, that's a problem. It's scary. And look at the rates of jobs and how low that is. Then you look at New York. New York is one of the top 5 places with the highest illegal immigrants, but we don't know if that's what's destroying the state. New York just has lots of problems on its own. Then you go to New Jersey. That's a really dirty place. Then you go to California, the number 1 state with illegal immigration, and the number 1 place of legal people in America migrating out because they don't want to live there anymore. Wonder why? I wonder what could be a cause. I wonder who's bringing those drugs that is causing the drug epidemic. Okay, so that's just the first 5 states. That's how you have to imagine this case to start off with. Now we're going to go into some facts. Okay, the population of the illegal immigrants in 2016 was 11.3 million, which is 3.4% of the United States population. Then, and it peaked in 2006 with 12.2, which is roughly 4%. So that's a number, 4% of the population. It's not a very high number, but when you think of what the next statistics that I'm going to give you, you're going to be astounded that such a small percentage of the population could be contributing such high percentages of crime rates. According to the DOJ, a group of 185,000 inmates incarcerated, 20,240, or 11.5%, are illegal immigrants. 4% of our population, 11.5% of all prisoners. That's a discrepancy that looks pretty bad for illegal immigrants. And then you go, well, there's illegal immigrants that are technically just undocumented right now because they are here in protective status, like certain people from Cuba, certain people from other countries that are here because their countries were going through a devastating problem. Only 10 out of those 185,000 inmates were from those countries, saying that it's not a problem of letting immigrants into our country if we do it the right way. It's not a problem of protecting people when they need protection. It's a problem of people thinking they can gyp the system, come into our country, because when you think you can gyp the system, when you are already committing an illegal act to start your residency in the United States, it seems very more plausible that you're going to commit more acts of criminal nature once you're here. There are 19,311 aliens under ICE investigation. 11,000 of those, 59%, are subject to final order. Final order means that they are already in our country illegally, or they have already extended past their visas, or however you want to say it, whatever reason they're still here, and they have committed crimes to where they are at a point to where if they commit another crime, where they do anything else, they will then be deported. Why do they have levels? Why do they get three strikes? You already committed a strike by coming into our country. If you committed another strike by doing a crime, This isn't baseball. We don't need to give you 3 strikes. So we need to be deporting illegal immigrants before they can commit the crimes, not after they've committed 2 or 3 crimes, okay? Now, 21%, when it comes to this statistic of all people in prison, or the crimes that are committed, I'm sorry, we're getting out of prison for a minute, the crimes that are committed, I just want to show you some of these statistics, okay? The crimes that are committed, this is the population, and this is the crime. This is the prison population, okay? See, so those numbers are pretty staggering. Now, when you go to the crime, out of all the crimes committed that are non-immigration crimes, which means you are not arrested for committing being here illegally. You're not being arrested because you don't have documents. For all these people, 21% of these crimes are committed by illegal immigrants. 21%. And that is a staggering amount. 4% of the population committing 21% of non-immigration related crimes. Okay, then you have to look at these other statistics. 8.4% of the adult population in America is illegal immigrants, which means the DACA part, the part about these children who need to stay here in our country because they were born here, that's the big issue when you're talking about immigration. No, it's not the big issue when we're talking about immigration, because it shows there is twice as many adults as children as far as illegal immigrants, which means if we deported all illegal immigrants, we would not be deporting a whole bunch of children. We would be deporting a whole bunch of adults who use their children to anchor them down. They use these children so when they commit these crimes, which is why they get second chances and third chances, so that when they go to the judge says, well, you're only committing crimes in your community, or you're not, this isn't a high level crime, and I don't want to separate you from this natural born citizen, so we let you stay here. That's how these things are happening. They're using these children, and there's not as many as DACA and the left want to pretend like there is. Okay, now in that 8.4% and the 21% of the crimes that are committed by these people, 42.4%, this is astounding, 42.4% of the crimes that they have committed in high illegal immigrant populated areas is kidnapping. 42.4%. 41.5% is drug convictions. And 22.9% is money laundering. I want to go to that 42.4%. 42.4% of the kidnapping convictions are illegal immigrants. That's nearly half of kids kidnapped are from illegal immigrants. But we have these parents and these kids. They're talking about taking away our Second Amendment, taking things away from American citizens to protect the children. Where are they talking about deporting illegal immigrants? Where are they on that side of the argument? They're on keeping illegal immigrants in our country. They don't care about the 50% of the people being kidnapped by illegal immigrants. If they really cared about kids, that's something that they would go after. I wonder how many of these kidnapped kids that are kidnapped by illegal immigrants are killed a year. And I wonder if that number even comes close. I wonder if it's even in a close percentage of how many kids are killed by gun violence in schools. If I really want to get that statistic, and I bet you, I would put my bottom dollar on it that it is not close. Okay, so we're going to go down to the... Now, we talked about the safety, okay? That was important. But now we have to talk a little bit about... You know what? Before we go into the safety, I want you guys to watch this. This is horrible. This is because I can't leave safety. I can't show you. I can't stop with the crime before I show you a person, an illegal immigrant, and how his mind is when it comes to America. How his mind is when it comes to what he did to 2 sheriff's officers, and he shows no remorse because he doesn't care about our country. He doesn't care about our cops. So watch this, guys.
And just shot him right in the head and kept shooting.
Even though the man you see smiling and smirking has officially entered a not guilty plea, Luis Bracamontes has sounded like anything but an innocent man.
Ladies and gentlemen, please step out of the hallway.
The That was part of his expletive-filled rant on Tuesday inside a Sacramento County courtroom. The Mexican illegal immigrant with an extensive criminal history went on to say he should have killed more cops back in October of 2014 when he gunned down Sacramento County Sheriff's Deputy Danny Oliver and Placer County Sheriff's Detective Michael Davis Jr.
I will break up soon and I will kill more.
Okay, that was horrible. He's smiling, laughing. He gets the death penalty, and he thinks it's a joke. He thinks it's funny to kill cops. He thinks it's funny. He smiles. And in another video, he actually claps at the family of the dead sheriff's officers. That's horrible. The sheriff deputies, I'm sorry. That's horrible. He shows no remorse. This is the type of people that can come into our country illegally. And when they come into our country illegally and commit crimes, they don't care a tad bit about what they are doing to the country, about what they're doing to the community, because it's not their country, it's not their community. They know that they only care about making money here to send it back there. They know that they want to make a fortune here so they go back there and live like kings a lot of times. That's what the drug cartel is. If the drug cartel in Mexico loved America so much, they'd come here and live here. But no, they live there. They live as kings. Okay, so we're going to go off that, and we're going to talk about the financial cost. Okay, so if you look over here at that, right, it shows $950 million in 2001 and $1.2 billion in 2004 that goes to incarceration alone of illegal immigrants. That's a lot of money. We're talking about, when we're talking about that the omnibus bill, those type of numbers being given to certain groups, organizations, pissed people off. $1.2 billion going to Planned Parenthood, which is a horrible thing to do, piss people off. Well, people need to be pissed off about how much money is being given and spent on illegal immigrants. And that is just from incarceration. This is the numbers that I could find on how much it costs to have an illegal immigrant, all the illegal immigrants in our country to the United States of America. Even though we pretend like they are the taxpayers, that they are the ones supplying our country. That's what the left pretends. $135 billion a year. That's the lowest figure I could find. Up to $274 billion. And that is that just depends on what factors you want to use to determine that number. Okay? So $135 billion to $274 billion a year on illegal immigrants. If you look at that, that is the lowest, that with the lowest range, that's $8,075 per illegal immigrant in our country. If you divide, if they take up 4% of our country, that means all you'd have to do is divide that 8,075 by 25, and you would get how much each and every American taxpayer pays per year for an illegal immigrant. And that number is $323 a year. Imagine you get a bonus on your taxes of $323 every year. There's less illegal immigrants bringing in drugs, crimes, and kidnapping our children. And you can sleep happier knowing that everybody in our country, at minimum, respects the fact that our country has laws and they are Americans. At minimum. There's still going to be crimes. There's still going to be people that are born here and that are citizens here that are going to commit crimes, just like in every country. But two wrongs don't make a right. We don't need to bring people in who start off not respecting our laws. Okay? So that's the statistics that I pulled up. That's just a bunch of stuff that is blowing my mind. And I hope that you guys learned a little bit. I hope that if this wasn't the most well-rehearsed podcast you've ever seen, that at least, because I didn't rehearse it at all, but at least you've got some information. Now you can go and do the fight. You guys can spread the word. You guys can tell people what they need to hear so that they fight with you against illegal immigration and they don't continue these facades of DACA. Now, I don't know what side of the aisle I am on DACA completely because I don't know enough about it. I would say that I probably lean to this side, which would be, let's let people who are here for 20 years so far or whatever, they can stay. That is fine, as long as you go through their records and you see that they are they've adapted well into our communities, They act as American citizens and they respect our laws. That way, then you can take a way to make them citizens. And yes, a second-class citizen, a lot of people call them, because no, they should not be able to then bring whoever they want. Like normal Americans can bring their family members into this country. They shouldn't have that ability, because that just does not break the cycle that we are trying to break. Problem is, when you talk about DACA, if you could vote on a DACA program specifically like that, and you could mold it, then yes, maybe I would be for it. But when I know those slippery, slimery Democrats, they don't want that. Hey, Cajun lady, nice to meet you. Thanks for following me. But they don't want that. The Democratic little liberals want a slippery, slimery slope. And you want to know why they work so hard for these DACA people, the illegal immigrants? Why they want our wall not to go up? Why they want open immigration all around? Because when these people enter our country, the left and the Democratic Party gain followers. They gain votes. They don't care. They're not being affected directly. They are not being affected directly by these citizens, these non-citizens. The cost, the burden, the destruction of our communities. They're not being affected by that. All they are doing is getting a voting base. All they are doing is getting more people to donate money to their bottom line. And I go back really quick. I know that I've talked for a while, but you go back to the 5 states that I've talked about. Illinois, which has Chicago. Florida, which has Miami, Orlando. You got New York, which has New York City. New Jersey. I'm not even going to use that one. And then California. All of those places have some of the richest people on earth. Some of the richest people in our country. And you think about it, why are those so... And then you got liberal, they're all liberal. And that's why their city's being destroyed. They live in the high towers. So they want these illegal immigrants in their states so they can keep being elected as state officials. And that's why there's so many illegals in their state, because they make it profitable for them. They make it a sanctuary city. They make it to where these illegal immigrants can come and feel safe and feel like they won't be deported. And then they vote for them so that they can keep this status of safety. That just puts the rich politicians on the left and the actors and all these people in the exact same spot that they were in before, not realizing all the destruction around them because they live on top of a hill. And I don't want to say that if you're rich, you don't understand problems. But I want to say that the left lets the richest people who don't live in their communities decide everything. It's not an equal. It's not a bargain. It's not a, let's figure this out together. It is, they tell them what to do through social media, mainstream media, actors, and politicians. And they know that the people that they're talking to have a lower education, have no stakes in our country, don't have homes that they need to protect, family values that they're trying to conserve. And then they grab these people and they convince them and they trick them to following them. That is what evil dictatorships, evil people do. They don't allow freedom of speech. They segregate. They're evil. Exactly. They want to control everything. And they don't want you to be able to even think freely for yourself. Well, think freely. Think freely about the fact that, at minimum, if we got rid of the illegal immigrant problem in our country, every single American taxpayer would be saving $323 a year in taxes. Think about half of all kidnapping convictions are illegal immigrants in our country. Think about 50% of kids kidnapped being home at night, being safe. Think about 21% of all crimes being committed are by illegal immigrants. That would mean we would decrease our crime rate by 20%. All of these things seem great to me. All of these things make me happy if these things occurred. But what are we going to do about it? We just lost a big battle in the omnibus bill. I think a part of that loss in the battle was people losing the support, the amp for Donald Trump. And I don't care if you're not truly or 100% Donald Trump. understand that he is our president and he is our Republican president, and he needs to be able to fight for Republican issues without fear that he needs to try to win votes from the left. He has the votes. He has our base, and we need to show it to him. Because I am tired of living in South Florida, not being able to read a sign because it's in Spanish. I am tired of people laughing and telling me I'm weird, or telling me, oh, you don't know how to speak Spanish? You better learn. No, I better not. I live in this country. I'm an American. I've lived in South Florida my whole life and have made it without learning Spanish. I don't need to learn Spanish in a world where English is the #1 language by far. In a country where English is the language, whether they want to say it is or not. Our national anthem, everything about us is in English, and it will stay in English. So, I hope that this gave you some information. I hope that you learned something. Care about the issues. If you have any suggestions, if you have any other facts that I missed, if you have another angle that I might want to explore other than financial and safety, maybe there's another angle I'm missing. I'd love to do a second part of this. So find that information, send it to me. I try to make a new video every day, try to learn all this stuff, try to find all these facts, set up all this editing, and come to you guys and give you this. It takes a lot of time and energy. So the more information you guys give me, the more you help, the better this is going to get, the cleaner it's going to be, and the more time I'll have to truly prepare and give you guys the facts without messing up at all, like I did in the very beginning. So, thanks, Cajun. I'll see you guys. It was great. Tonight, I am going to be explaining how I became a Republican. So, if you guys want, please watch that tonight. It's going to come out. I'll probably do it around 8 o'clock. It's going to be basically just do a quick rundown. My entire family is Democrat. My entire the family, white family on my side, on my mom's side is, not too religious. And when the closer to atheism you come, when it seems the more leftist you are. So a lot of them are Democrat. Pretty much all of them, at least in the direct. Then on my black side, my dad's side, I mean, statistically speaking, it's obvious they are Democrats. So I'll talk about that, how I became a Republican, especially at my young age, where most people my age would be these liberal freaks. So I'll explain all that to you and hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks, and sorry, Screaming Banshee, that you don't believe in the wall. That is fine. You always seem to come on my videos and have a problem with everything I have to say, which is fine. Your opinion is just as valid as everybody else's. But I hope that you don't take too much of your energy fighting a losing fight, because immigration will be defeated. Illegal immigration will be defeated. The wall will be built, and Trump will do a great job. So, anyways, peace. Love you guys. MAG all the way. Patriotism is the best. Nationalism is not racist. And enjoy the rest of your day.